It's good to have everybody here for Kusogrand8. Oh my gosh. Already slaughtering my words, and we've just barely started. Well, crappy. I think it's time for us to go to the game reveal, so please, let's find out who the GM is for our first match of the day. Whoa! Oh my gosh, if you didn't see Bill and Ted yesterday, that was quite a bit of fun. Definitely a lot of screaming going through the pipes. You know who else fits into pipes pretty well? At least I think so. It's Tempestrol! Tempestrol, come in here! Well, I've seen raccoons. They just squeeze their fuzzy little bodies into everything, okay? Like, you have a pipe there, they're gonna crawl in and be like, Yeah, that's the raccoon life for you, everybody. Tempestrol, squeeze your... Where are you? Is the hole too small to fit in here? Where are you? Tempestrol. 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 I'm gonna bop you. I'm gonna bop you. I've got a newspaper. I'm gonna whop you. Whop, 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 whop. Whop, 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 whop. Yeah, yeah. Come on. Okay. One thing that I need y'all to know is that I taught Tempestrol the word guff, and I'm pretty sure I taught you the word guff like last week.
I don't remember almost anything that happened last week. Sorry if you called me in earlier. I didn't even realize the stream was on because I was busy setting things up.
I mean, you're doing your job. You're doing great.
Job?
Okay, not job. I don't pay you. I want to pay people.
No.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, the one thing that you should remember from last week is that I taught you what the word guff is, and you forgot.
I don't remember that. I guess I did. I don't remember.
Do you not know what guff means?
I think I do, but I don't know if I could give you like a definition. So I guess I don't.
Okay, guff is basically crap. Like, I'm giving you crap.
Okay.
I'm giving you guff. But
I do remember that now.
The one thing about it is that you can only give guff, and you don't take guff. That's just how it's used. It's weird. But that, yeah, I was doing a wonderful transition about squeezing into holes and said that you probably could.
Huh?
Like, because raccoons, they like to squeeze their bodies into tiny holes and just get into trouble. Yeah, have you been in any trouble lately?
That is true. No, not really. I had an interesting weekend. I watched Street Fighter the movie for the first time.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's so good. What a great movie. I mean, it's terrible, right? But it's the perfect movie for riffing on.
Okay.
So I was watching that over with the PMC Trilogy, who was playing through every single PlayStation game, and got to the PlayStation port of Street Fighter, the movie, the game.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And so we decided to do a Discord watch party of the movie, and I got very drunk. But even if I wasn't drunk, I was losing my mind. It's there's some parts of that movie where it's like, wait, the filmmaking just completely falls apart. It's rough, but it's very funny. I would watch it again today. It's so good.
That's good to know. Yeah, maybe I'll have to do that sometime. I'm excited. Well, okay, I enjoy that kind of trouble. However, like, here's the deal. That was a movie based off of a game. I think you're giving out a game that's based off of a movie here.
That was a movie based off of a game, and then they made a game based off the movie off the game. This one is just one of those. This one is just a game based off of a movie. You know me, I love my licenses. Well, we're going back to a classic, baby. It's The Crow, City of Angels.
Yeah, the players are going to have 1 hour to reconsider all of the decisions that they have made in their lives. Whoever considers them the best will come in last and possibly be eliminated from the tournament. But whoever manages to make the most progress in the game, that's different. Oh, yeah.
Everyone go ping Shrambles and tell him that this game is on.
Shrambles.
I know Shrambles. Don't do that. by the way, but I know Shrambles, every time I bring this game up, he groans.
Oh, yeah. No, okay, fine. Everybody, if you go bother Shrambles, do it kindly, okay? And with love, and with honor, okay?
I'm telling you to go bother Shrambles in the same way that, like, Bonesaw told people to go tweet at Air Canada, which is to say, don't do that, please.
Oh, come on. Air
how's
Canada
that for
loved
a deep
it.
cut? Did they?
Sure.
DDQ staff didn't.
Well, guess what?
What a
I
funny
don't care.
I still think that's a really funny speedrun.
Yeah,
but it wasn't good.
I love it. Honestly,
We're
I
bringing
feel
up the
like
deep cuts today.
Yeah, the deep cuts are fun. You know what? Just because it's a fond memory doesn't mean that it didn't cause problems, but also it's like, you know, whatever. People are going to do silly things. Just tweet at Air Canada. Just go do it now, everybody. I won't ban you. Unless you tweet, like, swears. If you tweet swears, maybe I'll ban you.
People, go tweet at Via Rail and tell them to lower their prices.
At who?
Via Rail? Oh, Via Rail is like Amtrak in Canada. And when I say like Amtrak, I mean they have about the same kind of track record.
Sure, go ahead and do whatever Tempestral's asking you to do.
Via Rail, yeah, Taylor says
actually,
Via Rail
don't
prices
do
are
that.
stupid. It's too. The Canadians are coming out in chat. Via Rail is way too expensive. Did you guys hear that they're thinking about putting a high-speed rail link into in like the Quebec City Windsor corridor? God, I wish that would come to fruition, but I have no faith. I've heard that they want to actually put down their own rail that isn't owned by CP Rail or whoever it is who actually owns like the freight line that owns all the rail lines that the customer the passenger trains run on.
Okay.
Passenger trains in Canada have to give way to freight trains in a lot of areas because they run passenger trains on freight lines because they privatized all of the trains and then all of the private companies who ran the trains went under and they ripped up all the lines and now trying to take the train in Canada sucks balls.
Not. I was going to say not balls. No.
Not balls.
That's not what you want when you're on the train.
No, it's not typically.
Yeah.
There was a show about that, wasn't there? Like Love Vote on a Train. I'm sorry, this is getting wildly off. This is getting into territory.
We haven't even started the stream yet. We haven't even started the stream yet. Well, I mean, we started the stream. We haven't started the match yet. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the edgier years of Kusogrand8, where we might go into the PG-13 territory occasionally. Whoa. Oh. Bet you didn't see that coming. Well, you know what you did see coming? Probably Alf. Why is Alf on the screen here? What the crap? Alf, you're not in the game. Okay? We don't want you playing. Alf, get out of here. Okay, I'll try to get rid of him. We'll see if I'm successful at all. But here are the 4 players. Blue Link 13, Lady, Ariana, Dude, and Thor of Kenya. If a mod could potentially update the title for us, that would be very helpful. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and start the poll. Okay. I was like, I see a sound coming through in my audio mixer, but I'm not hearing anything. And I think that's just because the clicking is so much louder than the music.
Oh, I'm also not hearing anything. I was like, wow, this music is loud. And then I realized I had BizHawk open.
I'm sure you can hear this
the
now,
menu's
right?
Quiet. The menu is just quiet. Yeah. This is a good volume.
Stupid menu. Okay, everybody get ready with your points. Because I am going to go ahead and... Actually, I need to choose the outcome from yesterday. That way, points can be divvied out to the people who won. Yesterday was a lot of fun. Reign of Soten took the victory. However, who is going to win today for match number 1? Is it going to be Blue Link 13, Lady Ariana, Dude, or Thor of Kenya? I don't know. I honestly have no idea who I would vote for. But nobody's getting eliminated due to the Crow City of Angels, at least not today, because these are all players with 7 points. That means that even the person who comes in last, as long as they don't rage quit, they will still stay in the tournament. But the poll, the prediction in chat, that is for who you think is going to come in first. And I want you to use your channel points. Use them. Sometimes they get used for other purposes, but most of the time they're used for low stakes betting purposes, I guess.
Yeah, more or less.
Wait, why do we have the horizontal key as an emote in Discord?
Why do we have the
no.
horizontal key? I guess we do.
I love it. All of them reacted to you with the horizontal gold key. No, I don't like that key. Bad key. Well, right now I'm checking to see if the players are ready to begin. Do they need to change any settings before we start, or just going with the defaults?
Any settings, yeah, with the defaults, any controls or any settings on their end should be set up already. I haven't heard any complaints from them, so my assumption is that they are good.
Okay, just assuming y'all haven't changed any settings other than controls.
I did tell them keep it at default settings. I did explicitly tell them that.
Okay, never mind. I'm not even going to worry about that then. Everybody, I need you to spam some emotes. What would be good emotes for them to spam here?
Crows, birds, clowns. You know how much we love clowns here. Clowns mostly. Gangsters.
Clowns mostly.
Angels?
Angels? Okay. If you have birds, okay, I want to see all the birds as well. Get going, streamers, and spam those emotes. As soon as I see movement in the first stage, I will start our timer.
Oh, I have also told all the players, I don't know why Lady Ariana restarted on time start. That's gonna waste some time. I told them all that start time was on press start, and that we should have them all watch the first cutscene.
Okay, so we are starting time already.
Yep.
Cool. Okay, it looks like Thor is already into the game.
Did Thor watch the cutscene?
I don't believe so. Hey, welcome to Kusogrand8, where occasionally... Wait, why?
People, it's not that hard to follow my instructions. I gave you very simple rules. It's not a big deal. It's like it was actually like 5 seconds. I didn't realize that it was such a short cutscene.
Oh, no.
So this is the Crow City of Angels. So if any of you are familiar with the perfect weapon, this is actually just by... This is the same... It's the same game. This is by Grey Matter Interactive, or Grey Matter Studios, or whatever. They're from Oakville, Ontario, which is like just outside of Toronto. And I found this game the way that I find a lot of games, actually, which is to go onto Edgemu and hit the random button and look at the games that show up. And sometimes I see something, I just find magical things. And sometimes you look at the list and you see a game called The Crow City of Angels and you say to yourself, well, there's no possible way that's any good. This is not the cutscene that I told them to watch.
I think that Lady Ariana misunderstood what you said. Here's the deal. I don't want to punish somebody because they misunderstood stuff, so we can give bonus time to Lady Ariana. Technically, that's the intro cutscene to the game before starting the game. And I can see that, like, being the confusion there. Yeah, nobody's getting eliminated at the same time. Naughty night. I mean, despite all of the nighty night wishes, you know. Bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was probably about a minute to a minute and a half. Let's keep that in mind, and we can go ahead and make sure that Lady Ariana doesn't get punished for following...
Oh, I see. Okay, in my defense, it's been like 3 years since I played this game. So there are two different contexts in which you can get the this is why I told you that the game had weird letterboxing. I see you making those adjustments.
Shut up. I'm just trying.
This is the thing.
I'm trying.
This is why I just say don't bother letterboxing my games, because the screen will change sizes.
Yeah, I'm just doing it a little bit. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, okay? Yeah.
Watch it, though. I have to watch you make these adjustments.
Well, suck balls, just like you said earlier.
Right,
okay, I'm just quoting you.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, deal with it.
Let's talk about this game instead of me performing indecent acts.
Okay.
At a reasonable price or whatever.
At a reasonable price? Oh, baby.
What was it? Filthy deeds done at a reasonable price? Wasn't that what they called
done
dirty deeds
cheap.
done dirt cheap? No, it was filthy acts done at a reasonable price is what they renamed that stand in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure for the English localization, so they wouldn't get sued.
Oh my gosh! I didn't know.
It's a
That's
great name.
Amazing.
I love that name. Okay, so this game, you guys can probably tell. I mean, look, what do I have to say? Look at this. Look at this. The camera angles are constantly changing. The combat is obviously very stiff and clunky.
Bruh.
But this game is I believe I can't remember if this came out before or after Perfect Weapon. But the Perfect Weapon is, I think, the more well-known version of this. It runs on the same engine to the best of my knowledge, and basically it's just a game where you walk around, beat up dudes. The 3D beat 'em up, right? And it's like the stiffest, clunkiest, most garbage beat 'em up in the world. And the goal here is pretty simple. Ash, the main character, has been killed. I think he and his son are murdered by gangsters.
No!
On the side of the road, and they need to... And he resurrects like a year later and needs to enact vengeance on he needs to, like, I guess, free the soul of his son and avenge his death or whatever. This isn't a very happy series. This is the second in a the Crow is kind of a cursed franchise. This is the second entry in the series. The Crow was originally a black and white independent comic, much in the vein of like Sin City or the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was very pulpy and dark, and it was a way for the author to express a lot of like angst and internal frustration that he was feeling. And it kind of spiraled into my impression. Granted, I am not a real connoisseur of this franchise, but my impression is that the series has kind of gone downhill. And there keep being more installments, and it keeps the reviews I see are basically that it keeps getting worse. But they made a movie about this one, and famously, this is the one where Brandon Lee died after an accident involving a firearm on set. In a shockingly similar circumstance to the way Bruce Lee, his father, died. So, not great. Kind of a cursed franchise, and they went along and they made the game anyways, and they finished the movie and published it in memory of Brandon Lee. And I've heard that the movie is decent. You know, it's all right. He died in the original Crow. Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. City of Angels is the second movie because, of course, this is the second entry in the comic series. He died in the original Crow. Right. Iggy Pop is a bad guy in one of the sequels? Oh, so it's just like in Rock and Rule, where he's a bad guy in that movie. Has anyone here seen Rock and Rule? That movie's weird.
Which movie?
Rock and Rule.
No.
If you've seen... Rock and Rule is by Nelvana, a Canadian animation studio. You would know their work potentially from the animated segment of the Star Wars Holiday Special. That was the first television production piece they did, and then they made Rock and Rule, which it isn't. It's not very good. I'm gonna be real. Don't watch it, but it's neat. The history behind Rock and Rule is a lot more interesting than the actual piece. But Iggy Pop has a song in it.
Okay.
It's all right. It's Canadian Cool World, yeah. Except it's not even as good as Cool World is the thing. It's kind of I don't know. It's kind of rough. It's interesting. I think for like an animation aficionado, it's probably like a lot more interesting than it is to me, where I watch it and I go, man, this is, who wrote this? Was there writing in this? I don't know. It's all right. I only think of this as, and the Deftones as themselves. Oh, that's true. Is it worse than Cool as Ice, the movie Vanilla Ice starred in? I don't know. Probably not. Rock and Roll at least has like production value.
I mean, yeah, there are a lot of musicians who ended up being in movies. Of course, Labyrinth being one of the best movies with a musician as a star. I would say that Beatles movies are hilarious. One of my favorite has to be, oh my gosh, which one is it? Was it Sgt. Pepper? Because it stars the Bee Gees. Yes.
Oh, a whole bunch of other musicians. So I thought you might bring that one up because I have a funny story about that. It's sort of notorious, right?
Yeah.
So, I was at a record store. I have a record player, and I've been trying to expand my collection. And so I went to a record store a number of years ago, and I saw the movie soundtrack for that. And I'd never heard of this one before. I didn't even know there was a movie for Sgt. Pepper, and I went, interesting. Well, this is a Beatles, like Beatles movie soundtracks are usually pretty good, right? It's the Beatles. I like the Beatles. And it's got all these other musicians on it, like the Bee Gees and like Steve Martin. Oh, it's Steve Martin. Right. He's he's from that era of actor. Where,
Steve Martin is possibly
sing and
yeah,
it's one of the worst performances on the album.
No, that's one of the best performances in the entire movie. Like,
maybe
unironically,
in the film.
Like it's
maybe
so
in the film.
Good.
I haven't seen the film is the thing, but the soundtrack. I listened to this thing, and it's one of the worst albums I've ever heard. And then I look it up, and I realize why it was marked down so much, because the Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band movie soundtrack is the first ever record to have gone platinum in returns.
Oh, are you serious? I don't doubt it. It's really, really bad. Like,
it's rough.
It hurts.
It's rough.
Yeah. Now, I do have to say another rough thing about this that we aren't discussing is that our refs are doing a really good job trying to make sure that they know what is going on. Currently, progress is being tracked based off of how many enemies are killed on each screen. So basically, first what level they're on, and then the screens that are cleared in the current level, and then enemies killed on the current screen. Of course, it's going to be a little bit confusing for a bit, but I feel like they're gonna get through this. The refs for this match are Linkura, Toasty Stove Blastinus, and Jerryers, the Corvid Appreciator, with Not Electa as one of our backups here, helping to make sure that everything goes well. Thank you so much for helping to track this nightmare that Tempestral has given out. Now, I ask, this is the Saturn version. There's also the PlayStation version. Do you know which one's worse?
Probably this one. The Saturn, it typically performs worse in 3D games. I think there are some, like, I think the PlayStation version looks a little chunkier just because of the way that the PlayStation did its 3D rendering.
Okay.
I think this one looks a little cleaner visually, but it sounds worse, which is weird because you'd think that the audio would all just be Redbook audio, but I don't think it is. I think they actually use the onboard like a synthesizer, which is strange. I never really understood that. Anyways, I think this one sounds worse. But they both sound pretty awful. I mean, the music would not sound good if it was clean, you know?
Yeah.
And then I think the PlayStation version sounds a little, looks a little worse, but not that much.
Okay.
I sort of picked this one because it was chunkier. Like it has like some it has some lag issues, you know?
Yes. So I am going to go ahead and clarify real quick. for Lady Ariana that she can keep playing about 1 minute and 40 seconds per what the referees have stated. Just as much of a round number as possible, just so it's not confusing. But we're giving an additional 1 minute 40 seconds to Lady Ariana at the end. Huh. Bleh. Bleh. I love how they're like, hey, clown face. Do I have a clown emote anywhere? Clown.
Hey, clown face is definitely like that's the raid message, right? Hey, clown face. Yeah, I think about that phrase a lot. It's very good.
I have those clowns. Yeah, hey, clown face.
Yeah, perfect.
It looks like chat has a lot of clown emotes.
Damn,
maybe
you people have a lot of clown emotes.
I need to get a clown emote. Speaking of that, yeah, we've got emote slots. I gotta actually fill them up. I just keep forgetting. Maybe I'm the clown face, Tempestrel. Oh no!
Well, speaking of clowns, it's been almost 14 minutes, and we almost haven't talked about the game at all. So.
I mean, you started talking about Canadian Transit, okay?
I did. You're right. I did start talking about Canadian Transit.
But that was before we even started, though.
Let me tell you about how right now OC Transpo in the city of Ottawa is having... Yeah. So, okay, one of the things that makes this game really miserable to play, like a 3D beat 'em up, right? It's gonna be difficult anyways. Like 3D movement was still not something that a lot of studios had really figured out how to do well. But one of the real issues that this game has is the fixed camera angles. I personally think they're a detriment. But also, it just the angles that they chose were very awkward.
Yeah.
It feels like they had made this 3D model of the inside of this shack and this like tavern apparently, and they didn't want to like cheat it at all. They didn't want to clip through anything, so the camera angles are all weirdly low, and of course the rendering resolution just isn't that high. You can't put a very large image on screen, and so you frequently get these shots like what's on Dude's screen right now, where the characters are far away, and it can get worse than that by a lot. And it's like a really unclear direction on like where you need to go next. And the only thing that helps is that sometimes this crow sigil appears on the floor and tells you where you need to go. Oh, and the light just went out on Dude's screen, and I remember what it is now. It's a timer. The enemies get harder if you take too long. I forgot about this. Literally the dumbest mechanic on Earth.
Oh, really?
So if you take too long, I want to say the hints stop appearing, but also the enemies start doing more damage. Like you're protected by the crow, like the spirit of the crow or whatever. And once you run out this invisible timer, the enemies start doing more damage, or you have less defense or something like that. It's very silly.
So what light went off?
See the crow symbol in the middle of the HUD?
Oh yeah, I see it dimmed for Dude and Thor of Kenya. It's not very dim comparatively, but a little dim. Yeah, they could have made that a little clearer if that's like an essential mechanic of the game, but whatever.
I don't even remember if it's mentioned in the manual. I think there's like a sort of an oblique reference to the mechanic existing, but it's not like super clear. They don't like explicitly say that. It's just one of those things where like they're trying to give flavor that happens to be about a mechanic, and so you just sort of have to find out for yourself if the enemies hit harder. I don't know if it's going to make much of a difference for first-time players. As you'll notice, the combat is very clunky, and one of the things that makes it clunky is when you're in range of a character, and melee range is much larger than you would expect, you can't walk anymore. You'll notice Ash immediately stops running, even if you're holding the run button, and you can only shuffle around awkwardly.
Okay.
And it makes it really awkward. So like if you want to like run away from an enemy, you really can't. Because you're only allowed to shuffle around when you're close to them, and you're only allowed to shuffle around slower than they can move towards you. So once you're in fighting range, you basically have to engage. If you want to like, there's no way to like reposition easily to pick up weapons or whatever. If an enemy has like a gun or any other kind of like long-range weapon, like a rocket launcher, you better hope you get to them before they fire it.
Bruh.
And we will see guns. There is one in the beginning of this level, but the boat starts off with some firearms, and you have to really learn how to deal with them.
Oh yeah, the boat. I'm excited. One thing that I remember as well is something about rocket launchers, and I'm wondering how long it's going to be before we see that. Because I love the rocket launcher, okay? I think it's great. Again, in general, don't use rocket launchers indoors. That's my recommendation, chat. Not the best idea, and a lot of video games make it very obvious why that's the case. I'm looking at some of the people who worked on this, by the way. Yeah, you kept bringing it up. What was it? Perfect Weapon?
Perfect Weapon is the game that I know this company for, or that I knew them for before I got to this. And when I found this game for the first time, I started playing, and I immediately went, this kind of feels like Perfect Weapon. And I looked it up, and it was the same studio, like a year apart. So.
Oh, yeah, I completely believe it. But, the lead programmer actually worked on some fairly decent stuff later, like The Sims 4, the director of engineering over that. And The Sims 4 is pretty good. Like, I dig it. Some various FIFA games. I'd say, like, if it doesn't interest you, don't worry about getting into it. If it does interest you, everybody, sure, pick it up, but also realize that they really, 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 really want you to spend money on expansions because...
Oh, for sure. Especially the newer games, right?
I don't know. The first Sims had probably, 10 or 15 expansions by itself. Like the second game really picked up though, like so many. And yeah, now it's almost like a marketplace to get stuff. I'm pretty. You can probably spend $1,000 on The Sims 4 right now. Like, not even kidding you. That's a guesstimate for how much money you could spend on it if you wanted to get everything.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's $1,000. It's a lot of money.
A little more money than I'll be honest, I didn't hear how much money you said before, so I just said that's a lot of money, hoping that it would indeed be a lot, and then you said 1,000, so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Usually you don't want to spend $1,000 on a game. That's my
too much money, I think.
Yeah.
Typically is a little more than I typically want to spend.
Just one fix.
Yeah, and things that, like, I really appreciate devs these days who are like, hey, let's go ahead and give you this giant expansion basically for free. Like, No Man's Sky is one of my favorite models. Like, even though when it first released, it was like very, very, a lot of people were disappointed. I loved it when it came out, but I was like, I understand why people are disappointed, but it has grown so much. It's honestly impressive, and I think the game's at the point where everybody kind of hoped the game would be when it was first released. Like, it's actually the game that they wanted to make.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than now. I only played it after they had put all the improvements into it, but even I can see, like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there that's better.
Yeah. So we do have a question from chat. Obviously, the HUD is important. We talked about the crow in the middle being a soft timer that makes you take more damage when it dims. What about the other bars at the top?
But I have to point out for posterity in the VOD that the person who asked is called Incoherent Moron. You chose that name for yourself, but I do think it's very funny. Yes, it's a good question, actually. It is a good question. Shocking, it's both coherent and a good question. So you actually have 3 health bars, and your health bar is basically split up into thirds. And so when your top health bar basically drains all the way, it'll vanish, and the other 2 health bars will inch up to fill that space.
Okay, so
and you can actually pick up health.
So great, when you are at full health or you're at 2/3 health or you're at 1/3 health, it looks identical.
Correct.
That's fantastic. That's great design.
This game is well designed. This game was designed is the thing. Like, there was they really did just take the oh yeah, and if multiple enemies are on screen, then both bars share the space, because like what again. Design? Question mark?
Honestly, I don't mind that too much. Like, look at Blue Link. Both of those bars are going down, and it's very, like, but having it for yourself is stupid. But I mean, you could also just, like, add or have it switch depending on which enemy you're fighting at that moment, you know? You beat 'em ups on the Super Nintendo had it figured out. Why couldn't...
or just like do what a whole bunch of old beat 'em ups did and just have multiple health bars with multiple names, one for each character on the screen.
I mean, that could get cluttered, but at the same time, a lot of beat 'em ups did it right.
It couldn't, because this game only ever has like 3 enemies on screen max. Because if they had any more, the game would slow to a crawl.
I dig the music, I gotta be honest. And, Mark Kerr and Nelson Everhart were the ones who worked on it. Mark Kerr worked on, Perfect Weapon as well, did the music for that. Phoenix 3 did some testing, and apparently some sound for NHL All-Star Hockey. They didn't really work on too many other games, but Nelson Everhart actually worked on some of the I think Turok 3? Okay. Wizard 101, I don't know if that was any good. Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, the music was probably better than the game.
Probably.
Yeah. This is what happens a lot. Like, sometimes there are some very talented musicians, and no matter what they do, they can't save the game. But music does so much to make a game better or worse, and honestly, I think that it's trying to do some heavy lifting here.
It's trying. I don't think the music really holds up, if I'm being honest. It's just like the same really gross sounding guitar tone. It just really sounds like someone noodling on a MIDI keyboard with the worst guitar patch.
Fine. Yeah, this isn't... I'm not saying this should win any awards, but,
I think it should win a Razzie.
No, I'm talking about the music. The music should win a Razzie?
Oh. Well, if there's an equivalent for video game music, there probably isn't. The Razzies are kind of a little more mean-spirited these days.
Eat steel. Hey, Blue Link is onto the boat. Very nice.
The boat.
Yeah.
So the enemies here pick up guns and they fire. They have the best gun posture. Everyone firearms like that.
By the way, I love how everything looks so samey that apparently Thor of Kenya actually made it to the boat, and I had no idea.
Yeah, Thor Kenya made it to the boat and was fighting one of the construction dudes who pops out of the hatch after these gun guys. I believe once you go into the boat, there's like a rocket launcher or a grenade launcher dude immediately. This whole area is kind of rough, but Blue Link's dealing with it pretty well.
Pick him up and throw him.
Interrupt.
You can pick
That's
people
not a
up.
bad idea. Yeah, you can pick people up. I didn't usually do that because I found it really hard to do.
Okay, I think Blue Link is trying to use the gun.
If that is indeed a gun they have. I think it might be it was a gun. It exploded.
What?
Guns explode when you throw them and they're out of ammo. Both of those things, yeah. When a gun is out of ammunition and your attack goes from shooting to throwing and it explodes.
So it's like Borderlands. Okay.
It's like if every gun was a
the one gun. The one... Yeah, I know what you're talking about. There's a type of gun in the game in Borderlands.
I'm forgetting the name of the manufacturer.
When you reload, you throw the gun, and it blows up. Tedior, something like that.
Oh, thank you. It is Tedior. Yes.
Yeah. Eat steel. Well, Blue Link appears to have made it past the first screen of level 3. thus moving slightly into the lead. Now, the question for you, because this game is fairly long, are there any continues?
Yeah, there are. Well, there's not. I don't know if there's continues. There are passwords, but they don't actually appear on every level. So, like, I don't know if you get a password when you go to the boat. You get a password every once in a while, but there's like, how do I put this? Every level has like 2 parts to it, as I recall.
Okay.
So it's not. I don't actually remember if the boat is the second level. But it's like this. You do the first section, and then you get a long loading screen, and then you do the second section, and you would expect, because of the loading screen, oh, it's another level, I should get a password, but you don't. You have to do that second area, and then you get a password. It's very weird. So a player who gets a password, I told them they're allowed to use them. A player who gets a password is going to be at a pretty big advantage, but it also means that anyone can get there, I think. Last time we had this on, I think basically everyone got pretty close to that point.
Yeah. By the way, I'm looking at the review of Crow City of Angels for IGN. I think they reviewed the PlayStation version specifically, and they gave it a rating of 1 out of 10. Unbearable.
It deserves it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for, like, that's
just miserable.
IGN, okay?
Oh! Blue Link is at... Yes, Blue Link is... Please throw the boxes into one another, please. So Blue Link has identified, okay, the crow's pointing this way. I need to go this way. So what's the issue? Okay, well, there's these boxes in the way. You do actually need to get the boxes out of the way, so how do you do that? I guess you can attack them. I don't know if you can hit them. I believe what you need to do is throw the knife, pick one up. Now, please, I see you only have 1 piece of health left. Aw, you're throwing them away, coward. Coward. Throw them into each other.
No.
Let me laugh at you. Oh, okay. Blue Link's too smart.
Welcome to Kusogrand8. All of these players took second place in their first match, which means that they did pretty well. And sometimes they do better than we do. And I think that is the case here. Dude getting a lovely taste of the cutscene again.
Now, hold on, because these guys over here, this dude up here in the back, you see that thing behind those propane tanks? That's a grenade launcher. So you better hope that one of these guys doesn't walk over and pick up the grenade launcher. And also, you better hope that nobody, like, shoots a gun or fires a grenade launcher at those propane tanks, because the explosion radius is massive, and it does so much damage. Like, you basically need... And there's an entire rest of the health bar gone. I think... Oh, maybe iframe saved them? I wonder. Got rid of the propane tanks, though, which is pretty good. But they got a... Interesting. I notice Blue Link is mostly using the knife. But the strat that I see recommended, that I found most valuable, and that Ecdysis, who speedruns this game, also uses in the speedrun, is to use the back plus kick while you're facing the enemy, which does like a roundhouse kick, Chuck Norris style. And that has a pretty wide arc, and it does a lot of damage. It's the one that I typically go to. I find it the most reliable attack. Nobody seems to have solidified on that particular move yet, which I think is interesting, but the players are all doing quite well. So, shows what I know, I suppose. 30 minutes in, and we're at this point in the game. I'm feeling pretty good about this match.
Yeah, okay. I'm just doing some clarification, talking a little bit with the refs, because we do want to make sure that everything is fair for the players. Lady Ariana, we are giving time at the end of the match. Oh no. I'm crying.
Yep. Why didn't you save me?
Yeah, as it turns out, if you come back to life and don't save your son, he will go to hell forever.
It's something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So everybody, please cry for Polygonal Child. Everybody cries for the polygons. Oh.
F's in chat for the kid. My favorite thing to do in the match chats recently is to, when the players complain, is to simply post a single smiley face.
Okay.
Blue Link says, "No password, huh?" Nope.
There we go. Yeah, there are passwords in this game, I think. I presume. In theory.
Blue Link would need to get, I think it is literally right at outside of the room that Blue Link died in. Or it's like one room right after that. It was pretty close.
Oh, yeah, Blue Link is a little bit sad. Yeah, considering that they, like, ooh, Lady Ariana and Thor of Kenya are on, is this the boat? I don't know.
This is the boat.
Are you sure?
No, I'm sorry. This is the dock before the boat.
I don't know. Everything looks gross and ugly.
Yeah,
like it looks like the PS3, and that's an insult.
It certainly has that post Gears of War aesthetic, doesn't it? Oh well, especially God. I don't know what OBS is doing to the color space, but it looks even worse on the version that I'm seeing on Twitch and what I'm seeing through Discord. Like it looks even darker and even muddier on Discord. That's funny.
Ugh. I don't think it's changing anything here. Okay.
Oh, it might just be my monitors. It might just say, yeah, it's just that my monitors represent color differently.
It's just your monitors.
I have three completely different monitors.
Presenta messed up OBS. Presenta.
That's not what I said.
Make everything ugly.
That's not what I said.
Too bad, Tempestro. We heard you.
All right. You could hear better.
Wow. I literally have hearing loss. I can't believe you would say something like that, Tempestro.
Welcome to Hero Grande, where we do hearing tests, apparently.
Yeah, I need to go in and get another one. I need to find out how much hearing I've lost.
It's probably worthwhile for anyone to do at a certain point. I had a hearing test a while ago that was interesting because I got a call, or I got a message on LinkedIn from someone who said, "Hey, did you go to this school in grade 8? I'm doing a follow-up on a longitudinal, like, hearing study about listening to loud music." And I went, "Oh my God, I'd totally forgotten about it." When I was in grade 8, we had some researchers from the University of Ottawa come into my school, and everyone got hearing tests, and we had to do a survey about like how we liked to listen to music and at what volumes and in what contexts. And so I went and did the follow-up, and it was like, yeah, 10 years later, which was nuts. The same researcher. That's dedication. When I was studying science, I was like, I could never do longitudinal studies because they take so long to come to fruition. But they were finally collecting their 10-year data.
I mean, like, you know, it's some people are scientists, and all you have to do is put a date in your calendar for 10 years in the future to remind yourself, oh yeah, I need to do this. No, honestly, it's usually like a group's responsibility. So even if people leave and come in, you know, the purpose of the group is still there, that they're going to be resuming, you know, checking back in with people. But yeah, last time I got a hearing test, I loved it because I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, I know I should be hearing these really loud beeps right now, but it is so quiet. It is quiet and peaceful.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, as it turns out, maybe that's good for bad video games because there are a lot of really high-pitched loud beeps that I'm just like, yeah, doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly seem to have a much more favorable opinion of the music than I do.
Does this music have loud beeps?
No, but it's not good.
Bruh. Bruh. Yeah. I wonder, like, how bad it... Because, yeah, even, like, it was probably 5 years ago or something. Even then, they were like, yeah, you've got some pretty significant hearing loss. And it's probably because you're shooting too many guns. I'm like, no, I'm not.
You're firing guns without hearing protection.
And I'm like, no, I'm not. And they're like, oh, okay. And then they said to my husband, just make sure he doesn't shoot guns that much.
Oh,
and I'm like,
I see.
we don't shoot guns. I'm not lying to you, doctor. Okay.
That's not good. I'm sorry.
No, it was fine. I thought it was funny. But I'm like, yeah, guess what? When I was a kid, living in rural Utah, what would they do? They'd go and shoot guns, and nobody used ear protection. Oh, I remember all the times that my ears would ring and ring. But that, like, I don't like guns these days. I have no interest to go shoot guns, and yeah, as it turns out.
I remember you saying in the past that when you were a kid, you know, that you would like go to like a range with your family or whatever, right? So
a range, the backyard, you know.
Sure, okay, fair. I'm a city boy, okay? Like I don't understand the culture. But fair enough, I suppose.
Yeah.
I will say one of the best things I ever invested in, as someone who really likes live music, a good pair of those like triple walled like earplugs are so good. If the music's loud enough, it's gonna get through the earplugs. You're gonna hear it just fine, but you're not gonna hurt your ears listening. You know, it's such a good investment, and you can get them for like $15, and they're fine.
Hey, clown face.
Yeah, the bad thing, like, okay, I got new ear pads for my headphones, right? And they're a little bit softer, but I think my ears are a little bit farther away from the actual speakers. And when I have a game going, like, at a volume that I can hear it, Justin can basically hear word for word everything that's happening. And I'm like, oh no. Yeah.
I mean, that'll happen with like open back headphones too.
Yeah, but it's getting to that point. It's getting to that point where I'm going to have to become an old man and maybe get hearing aids or something.
It happens. I mean, that's the beauty of being old. It's funny because I went to a party yesterday for some friends who were moving away. And it was, oh, hold on one second. We have to pause this because there's the rocket launcher. Yes!
Where?
Sorry, Thor of Kenya. I'm so sorry. I gotta say, like, where stuff's happening.
I missed
Thor
it.
of Kenya picked up the rocket launcher, and I didn't realize it had homing. It fired it, and it curved right back around and hit the enemy and the propane tanks they were standing right behind. That was good.
Okay, well,
God.
That's cool. I really hope I get to see it again.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, Tempestral, we're gonna get you to the point where you're gonna be like the pro commentator. Okay, you're gonna you're gonna be expert.
The thing is, when I'm prepared, I think my commentary is really solid. But I'm a backup today. I wasn't prepared for this game. Like I didn't have this like planned out. So I'm like, I'm feeling like I woke up an hour before the match, okay?
You're completely fine. I mean, you, honestly, you know, sometimes things happen that GMs have lives as well. Sometimes things happen that throws a little chaos into people's lives, and that's fine. I'm glad that you showed up. I'm glad that you had this game, and I'm glad that you're starting to wake up.
I'm glad that we got this game as well. I love using this game so much. But as I was gonna say, I went to this party with a bunch of friends who they're moving out of their place, and it was like where they were living was like the prototypical like college house, you know, like they've had a lot of people while they were students, and after they graduated, they had a lot of like students moving in and out of there. And so I was thinking about like, oh yeah, the last time I was here, I was in my early 20s, and now I'm here in my late 20s. At a party. This is like very weird for me.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's weird being in this house that I'm used to being, that I remember being at parties in, but now I'm here with a bunch of 30-year-olds, right? And I was just thinking, you know, when I was a kid, I remember going like, oh, what is it about adults that makes adult life so different anyways? It's like, you know, stereotypically like doing taxes. Like, and no, it's you know, you talk about like being an adult is like talking about having like IBS and how you're losing hair and like how your back hurts, and that's most of it, you know.
Oh yeah, it's like the grosser your health condition, the cooler you are as an adult. You know.
Well, I don't know about that, but it's certainly it's like, oh no, actually as an adult, it's mostly like, man, my hair's all going gray. I'm getting gray hair. I'm 27. I'm getting gray hair. I don't know where it's coming from.
No, like, no. You get to be like, you know, I've got a roommate here who had this giant growth coming out of his throat, and we're like, you should probably go see the doctor. And finally he did, but only after he passed out. Got it removed. He ended up being okay. But now I'm like, I don't think I have a crowning achievement to that. I don't have anything that gross. I had hernias. I can brag about those, but that's about it. Yeah, I need more gross health conditions, everybody. That way I can gross people out. It's cool.
I gave myself a hernia when I was like 5 somehow. I don't know how that happened. And I remember going to the hospital and being like, so when are you guys gonna put me under? And then immediately I passed out. And I got Jello when I woke up. That was good. I like that.
That's the best part.
I didn't even need it. I didn't need the lime. Like it's not like they did like throat surgery or something.
You never need like, Jello, but it's great.
But you give it to a kid because he just underwent surgery. I barely remember that, but I do remember getting Jello, and I remember one of my best friend's mom worked at the hospital, and she was there, which was weird. Come to think of it, I don't. Did she work at the hospital? Anyways, I was 5, so, you know.
Your mom smuggling you hospital Jello. I love it. She's like, I wasn't supposed to bring this home from the hospital, but here you go. Hands you some Jello. That's the most innocent little sneaky thing that somebody could do. I love it. Well, this game is fun. Who's winning?
I don't know.
It looks like Blue Link is still in the lead, having made it to level 3, screen 2, killing 2 enemies. Thor of Kenya made it to the same screen and killed 1 enemy, but unfortunately also killed himself with a rocket launcher. That's what happens when you use a rocket launcher indoors. After that, I believe Dude is in 3rd and Lady Ariana in 4th. Both of them made it to the same screen in level 3 and killed the same number of enemies, but Dude did it first. Also, huge shout to Dude. We had a no-show earlier. He was willing to step in and play. I very much appreciate it, and I love when players are able to do that and come and sub for other people. So, muchas gracias. Yeah.
It's also really great when players can come and dom for other people.
And do what?
I'm sorry. Don't worry about it.
Oh my gosh.
So one of the things that we
keep going.
I interrupted my own train of thought, and now I forgot what I was going to say.
No, that's
yeah, I probably should be looking at the tracking spreadsheet if I'm being honest. Thank you so much for our refs like being here and helping us track so that we can focus on delivering the worst commentary you've ever heard. You'd think that having referees would mean my commentary got better, but
how many people are you've got 212 people listening to us bumbling. Yeah, that's sort of the Kusogrand8 life here, though, you know?
That's how it be. That's how it be.
What the crap is this stupid image format? JFIF?
JFIF is like JPEG, but it's not. I don't remember what it was like. It's like a weird alternative JPEG. I didn't think it was still being. One of the things I was going to bring up was actually how to avoid guns in this game. So one of the strategies that was discovered when I gave this game out that I had no idea about. But when I gave it this back in 2021, one of the players managed to avoid a bunch of guns by ducking. Because it turns out that the AI, the enemy AI will not shoot at you if you're ducking, or at least it takes up, like, they have to like retarget or something. And so if you duck and then stand up and walk forward and duck and stand up and walk forward, for whatever reason, the AI is like really hesitant to shoot you. And if they do shoot at you, frequently they will shoot over your head,
Ooh.
which is odd. I guess they don't take height into account, even though ducking is a mechanic.
Okay. I mean, honestly, anytime that you can mess with... Whoa! What happened?
You see dude scream?
Yeah, the dude threw one box.
One box and then backflipped over the other ones.
Apparently you don't need to move all the boxes, just one.
I forgot about the backflip. Okay, dude is really close to those propane tanks. Be careful, dude. Okay, I'm watching the screen because this is where Thor of Kenya died.
Okay. By the way, you can move 5 or 6 boxes. Or just one.
Or just one. Yeah. Nice.
I don't need friends. They disappoint me.
My name is Carla Shaw. I don't need friends. They disappoint me.
I love Carla Shaw. She's my favorite. For everybody who doesn't...
storm coming, honey.
Yeah. For anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about. No, dude.
Yeah,
got knocked
dude.
back. They exploded and I think dealt damage while he was on his back. But both of the enemies died.
Yep.
That's
the
tie.
danger of the propane. And there's a rocket. Oh, so what just happened right there also. Oh my god, dude. Hit the man. Oh, this is so scary. So one of the things that this game does is if you are like next to a if you enter like a transition to another camera angle,
Is that another dead enemy?
that's another dead enemy.
Oh, that's 3. That's
Is that progress?
Yes, that is first place because one enemy killed the other with a rocket launcher.
Oh boy.
Okay, it's always nice to move into the lead because the AI is stupid. But there we go.
That's
The
all of them.
dude got rid of the 4th one.
Careful.
Very good progress. Oh, propane. Okay, just gonna inch across the screen and throw it. You know what? Throwing a propane bottle, it's probably not going to explode. They're actually fairly durable, but you probably still shouldn't do it.
Yeah, you don't want to mess around with anything pressurized, really. Like, even if it's not flammable, pressurized gas is just like, let's avoid that one.
Oh, yeah. Like,
But where are we here? We're going to be on the surface of... Yeah, here we are. Okay.
the surface?
Or, sorry, we're at the top of the boat. We're now at, like, it's like a cargo ship or something.
Ew, they're hauling slime.
They're hauling slime. They're hauling Nickelodeon gack.
Oh my gosh. Finally, we know where they get it. From the boat.
So this is the first and only, I think, like, puzzle. Oh, dude. Saw the thing, the electrical current, so you have to switch sides, depending on which, like, where the electrical current is. And that happens. And they kind of, the patterns of the electricity kind of overlap in weird ways, and it's not always clear which conduit they're on. But you see here how dude appeared to stop moving for a second, even though I guarantee you he was holding forward.
Well, that's
It's
BS
because-
if they come at
for
a
whatever
specific
reason-
timing that you can't dodge.
Yeah, it's really silly. Towards the middle, it's really rough. But so this happens where when you change camera angles, the entire game freezes to change the camera. It's so strange. I don't know why it's like that. Like, if they have to, like, load. But they keep running, like, the idle animations for the enemies and hazards and stuff. Oh, and that's a gun.
Ooh.
Oh,
no,
that's a
kick
oh,
while
no.
you're down. No.
And this is why this configuration here is why we like the back R kick, the roundhouse, because it'll hit both these guys.
Okay. Good job, dude, taking care of this. Blue Link is moving the boxes. Oh,
Careful.
Yeah, just get rid of that. Don't blow yourself up.
I think Blue Link identified.
No!
Oh no! Yeah, there you go. Blue Link, I think, correctly identified if they threw it into the barrels, it would bounce back, but then decided to throw it into the wall instead. Sorry, Blue Link. I have a list of passwords on the notes that I wrote for this originally, and I'm
No.
I'm trying to remember how the passwords worked. I hope I didn't get it wrong. I didn't give the players passwords. I'm trying to remember if I gave the players like, hey, here's the passwords. You can use them when you get to the appropriate level. Like, I wonder if the game doesn't tell you. I don't remember now. No, I think it does. But it only does it every 2 levels. I think it's still the same.
Every 2
Don't worry
levels?
about it.
But isn't the boat the 3rd level? I honestly have no clue. I don't know how levels work. Whatever.
No. The pier outside the Last Chance Tavern is part of the 1st level.
Okay, well, for the sake of tracking refs, you can go ahead and keep it by saying
like
that it's level 3. I'm fine with that, okay? This is still
whatever they're doing,
3.
as long as it's consistent. As long as it's consistent, then that's what's important. Ultimately, the official like level 1, level 2 is like not a big deal. The long load screens. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, just for clarification, the referees are using the long load screens in order to separate level 1, level 2, level 3. Technically, this is the era of video games where it's ambiguous.
Well, it's not ambiguous because there are different passwords for different. There's no password that gets you to the pier on its own, but it doesn't matter because they don't actually tell you in game which one is a new level and which one isn't.
If that's the case, then the boat is still level 1.
No, the ship has its own password. The boat.
Right, because we saw
I understand. Well, maybe the ship level starts at the pier. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure ship is level 2, but it doesn't matter because whatever tracking method the refs are using is consistent, and I'm not going to like mess with that.
Bruh.
Our position change is still possible at the given time. I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe with where Thor of Kenya is. But the dude would have to, like, if the dude game overed right here, and Thor of Kenya made a perfect run from this point on, maybe.
Okay.
So I think it's still possible.
Yeah, just FYI, yeah, there is a code specifically to go to the boat. Why the crap does this list of codes have everything in alphabetical order? That's stupid. Okay? No, I don't want, no. Don't put passwords in alphabetical.
On my, yeah, no, it's silly. I have them all on, well, also there's like a list of passwords that is, there's one site that lists them that is like for the PlayStation version, and I had to transpose them on the Saturn, as I recall. I don't remember if I ever found one for the Saturn version.
Hey, clown face.
Hey, clown face.
Again, it's been like 3 years. But I just sent you the write-up that I did ages ago. And I do have them listed in the correct order there.
Aw, good job, Tempestrel. Bruh. Hey, clown face. Bruh. Clown face, bruh.
Hey, clown face.
Hey, clown face.
It's such a good line. Hey, clown face.
Yeah. I don't know. If we have better lines later on during Kusogrand8, great. We'll use those as raid messages, but that's already a strong start for a possible one.
It's a really good line, and it's like, I don't know what it is about clowns, but there's just so many bad games with clowns. Like this, Homie the Clown, or Homie the Clown. Trying to think of another really good clown game.
I mean, there's Dropsy the Clown, which I need to play sometime. Yeah. It's an adventure game made by the Hypnospace guy.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Hypnospace Outlaw is a peak game.
Yeah, and
really, really good.
I definitely need to give that one a shot. I mean, Mr. Do, I believe he's a clown, and I accept that. There's also Clowns on Atari, which is one of my favorites. It's sometimes called Clowns and Balloons. Let's see, what is... Uh-oh.
Kenya's at the propane tanks.
Not the propane tanks!
Oh, there's the back kick. Doing the back kick in the wrong direction. That's the first time I've seen it used. Going, oh no, why are you going for the rocket launcher? This killed you last time. Moving out of the way. Okay. shuffling away because that's the only thing you can do. Oh, but the controls are like weird and like relative to Ash's facing, which
Like,
is very awkward.
Honestly,
Shuffling
blowing
away.
them up would still like get more enemies killed. Okay.
If you fire at that range, you're gonna die.
Okay, not dead.
He's alive.
2 enemies down. Okay. Yeah, that was 1 full health bar, but at the same time, that's progress.
It is. It is.
Now it's just time to kill 2 more enemies. Yeah, the thing is, like, when enemies are grouped up, they're a bit frustrating to deal with. So, like, even if it does damage you, it's still getting rid of a group.
Explosive damage is really strong for that reason, but it's so dangerous, especially because when you're close, like when you're in melee range, you can't move away faster than they can move to you. That's why I recommend using the roundhouse kick. But you know, we got it. Okay, Thor, I don't know if Thor can make it in the time available, but I think Thor has absolutely solidified themselves a solid second place at this point.
Yeah, I don't think Blue Link... Yeah, Blue Link definitely doesn't have a chance. Lady Ariana could technically maybe make it onto the boat and maybe make a little bit more progress with the bonus time that we are giving. We're going 1:40 over. If she so wishes to use that. Of course, a game over before making it to the boat would probably be the point where I'm like, nah, we're done. Blue Link, are you whipping them?
I think he might have a whip. Yeah, I think they might have a whip.
That's cool.
I'm trying to remember, or it's like, maybe it's just like a baton. It is the broken, it is a broken lightsaber toy from Walmart.
Oh my gosh, those are useless. They're not cool, they're not fun. Thor of Kenya getting a little electrified. Now, refs, I do need you to remember that Thor of Kenya did accidentally start the game a little bit early. Because of that, we will not be counting the final part depending on how much time they gained by skipping the intro cutscene, and that could make the difference between first and second.
It could. Is Lady Ariana? Is Blue Link or Lady Ariana closer? Who's made more progress in terms of being third or fourth at this point?
Blue Link is definitely in third at this point.
That's what I thought. Having
made it to essentially the second screen of the boat and killed 2 enemies on that screen as well. Lady Ariana, I don't know if that's doable in about 2 minutes from now. But honestly, if she wants to keep going, I am going to let her. But yeah, here we go. We're hitting time.
All right, we're hitting time.
Okay, and I let her know, feel free to keep playing if she wants, and if she doesn't want, that is fine. It looks like Blue Link has 0 interest in continuing. Lady Ariana getting stomped, and she says no. We're calling it. Okay, that is time, everybody. And for clarification, it looks like, based off of the progress here, Dude takes first, managing to make it to the 7th level, or 7th screen of the boat. Honestly, a huge amount of progress. Thor of Kenya, even with a little bit of the time correction here, still takes second place. Blue Link third, and Lady Ariana fourth. Nobody is eliminated due to them all taking second in their earlier match, and that is always pretty exciting to me. Let me go ahead and see if Dude wants to come and join us. Yeah, how do you feel they did, Tempestral?
I think they did great. Dude is waiting in the other voice channel, by the way.
Oh, okay. Let me go ahead and drag Dude in here. Yeah, just based off of what I've seen, that was more progress than I've ever seen in an hour for this game. Like, that was a very impressive push. And hello, Dude.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But they still didn't feature the first level in this game.
I mean, technically... Oh, wait.
Oh,
Tempestral.
So, I'm trying to remember how the passwords are done. I seem to recall, because I gave this out 3 years ago, and I didn't do a ton of, I have to admit, I didn't do an amazing amount of prep for this match, because I wasn't expecting to be on today. But I think the way passwords are supposed to work is that they only give you a password every 2 levels for some reason, like they implemented the password system wrong. But I also have a list of passwords on my website where I've published a bunch of notes for the games I gave out, and I'm trying to remember if I gave people passwords before because they didn't give any passwords in the game. So there was a password to get back to the ship. I don't know if they gave it to you. So, but the ship is the second level.
If they did, it was somewhere hidden where I didn't see it. So, you know.
Yeah, I don't remember. You did quite well, though.
Then.
Yeah, dude.
You did great.
Honestly, like, I don't recall ever seeing the electricity part. Like, for a game that is so dark and grungy, to have just little jolts of electricity crawling along the lines, it is hilarious. Like,
oh yeah, that
what the
reminds
crap?
me.
It's so stupid. That's not how electricity works.
It also controls really weirdly, because you know when it switched to like a side view where I was scrolling to the going on to the right across the power lines. So you go to the right there by holding forward, and you switch power lines with left and right still for some reason, even though that doesn't make any sense in the perspective anymore.
Yes, especially when all the other screens have relative camera controls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. Is it tank controls elsewhere?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so technically that would still be ting controls holding forward to move
just
your character forward, but
yeah, it's just not what you're expecting at that point, you know, with the change in perspective and everything.
I mean, yeah, welcome to this game. As it turns out, this is not a good game.
Yeah. I don't know, it was... No, I can't say it was good, it wasn't good at all, sorry.
Oh no, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
It's pretty
but
bad.
I'm glad that you had a lot... I hope that you had fun. Like, was there anything redeemable about the game at all?
I had fun. No, I don't think there was anything redeemable, but it was kind of fun to just see how far I could get by just grabbing a knife from like the third screen and seeing how far I could take it.
Okay.
I do have one factoid about the way that the dude played. The refs have pointed out to me that all the players used the run button except the dude, who I don't think ran the entire match.
I ran once at the very, very beginning of the match on the first screen, and I never could get this controls to respond to getting me to run again, so I just gave up on it.
Oh,
there you go,
baby. Yeah, also,
and you
I
won
love
by
that
a pretty significant margin.
Some of the players, Blue Link is finding out that there's a movie. Yeah, this was based off of a movie. And yeah, the game isn't exactly good at getting the plot across to us. I know that your child is like in hell or something, but that's about it. That's really all you need to know.
As far as I can tell you, just some guy in face paint was stabbing a whole lot of people for no particular reason. To be fair, they're just as they want to kill you just as badly as you want to kill them, I suppose.
Oh yeah. Well, dude, what are you doing these days? Anything exciting right now?
No, not particularly, honestly. I'm just kind of in a holding pattern until the next Final Fantasy XIV expansion releases.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from a lot of people. Honestly, I'm excited for that. I hope that everybody enjoys that. I honestly have not tried. I still need to get through Shadowbringers. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing Shadowbringers.
Oh yeah, you better get through it.
I'm sorry. I'm trying.
Yeah. I mean, you'll have fun with it whenever you have time for it.
Yeah, so maybe I'll be able to do that. Apparently the benchmark came out to see if your graphics are good enough, if your graphic card is good enough. Is yours good enough?
Yeah, just barely.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's on the lower end of performance scales, but it's good enough for, like, lower settings on the game, and it still looks nicer than it used to, so, you know, I'll take it.
Good. Good enough is fine. I mean, I'm also going to try that later on, probably today, because what am I going to do after this match? I don't know. I'll go find something fun to do. Well, thank you so much for coming and playing. Good luck with Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, if you happen to be on Excalibur, I should let people know when I'm playing, just so that people can come and like add me as a friend. Fine.
I'm already in the Kusogrand8 link shell free Zoom mates ages ago. So.
Oh, you're in that?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, everybody, if you are interested in like having friends in Final Fantasy XIV, we do have plenty of people in the community playing, and we would definitely be interested in having more friends. Well, perfect. Thank you so much. And Tempestrel, thank you for coming in. Oh, yeah, dude, thank you for coming in last minute to play. Tempestrel, thank you for coming in last minute to give a game. Yeah, as it turns out, we've had a lot of help. Say what now?
The show must go on.
Yeah, that's what they say. That's what they say. And go on, it will. Take care, both of you. I'll see you later.
All right, have a good one.
Bye.
Yeah, have a good one.
Well, everybody, I am going to run a quick ad to get up and run to the restroom. Y'all grab some water as well, and I will be right back. See you in a couple.